Street Fighter 6 can be a difficult game to be good at, and if you don't improve yourself, if you don't continuously try to learn new things, you will find it difficult for you to compete with players online or even your friends. So today I'm going to show you 5 essential skills that are going to up your gameplay, are going to improve you and make you a better player to reach that master level or the high MR level that you want. So without further ado, let's go to training mode. This video is brought to you by Fury Arcade. Also, you can now easily book your next coaching session or one of the other coaching services available in the link in the description below. So the first essential skill is going to be scanning. So scanning is a skill that is not only applicable to this game, but it's applicable to any sport. And you're gonna see it in football, some of you call it soccer, you're gonna see it in basketball, you're gonna see it in racing, you're gonna see it in anything, in any sport you're gonna see scanning, and it is something that is very important to do in Street Fighter 6. So when we talk about spamming, we're gonna talk about you actually being able to scan your resources, scanning your drive meter, which is this green bar over here, scanning your health bar, scanning the opponent's drive meter, scanning the opponent's health bar, scanning your super level, and scanning your opponent's super level. So that's very essential, because something that is so simple like this can actually change your strategy mid-match in the round. You can change your combo route, it can change if you're going to spend meter, if not. So that is something that's very important, and I see a lot of people, even from the people that I coach or people online, like platinum level, diamond level, even master level, they don't care about their meter management or scanning for the resources, and it's very apparent in their combo choices. So for example, if my opponent is going to be at, let's say, 30% health, right, and I know that I have full gauge, full drive meter gauge, right, there is no reason for me, if I hit him over here, there is no reason for me to use super, because all what I can do is I can just spend all of my meter like this. 1 second. Right, I can just spend all of my meter like this, go in burnout, and he's gonna be dead, right? So in this case, just because I scanned my drive meter, right, in the beginning of the combo, or even after I got the first hit, I did not go for super, right? Because I realized that I have 3 bars and I have 6 bars. I don't have 3 bars or less. So therefore, I can do 2 cancels and I can just kill him. So in case I had something like this, right? In case I had 2 bars, for example, I would realize that this is not gonna kill. Or if I just go for the maximum one, this is not gonna kill, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you again. This is not gonna kill, right? So in the next case, I'm going to go for something like this. I'm gonna go for something like this, so then I can get the kill. So just because I realized that I have 2 bars, not three or more, or not more than 3, I realized that, oh, now I cannot kill in the situation, so I have to spend my meter. So this is all possible because I was able to scan. Now, if I'm going to give you some tips on scanning, I'm going to tell you that you should first of all scan your drive meter. Your drive meter is basically the most important meter or the most important resource in this game. So first thing first, you have to check your drive meter, right? Check the opponent's drive meter also. So that's the first thing to do, and then check the opponent's health and check your own health, and then check your super. So drive meter first, yours and the opponent, the health bar, yours and the opponent's, and also the drive. So at the end, comes the super meter, yours, and also the opponent's super meter. The opponent's super meter is not that important. It is important, but it's only I would keep it at the end. So I would always scan when I'm playing neutral like this. If I'm playing neutral, right, and I'm trying to get a whiff punish, I'm trying to anti-air an opponent or something like that, that's not the time for me to scan. The time for me to scan is when my opponent is hitting me with a long combo. So for example, if my opponent is hitting me with something like this, I can't really do anything. This game does not have combo breakers. I can't really break the combo while I'm getting hit. So there's nothing for me to do. So instead of me just like, you know, waiting there, just like looking at the combo, getting entertained by getting hit, I'm going to scan my resources. I'm going to check, you know, my drive meter, my health bar, my super bar, so then I would realize what is my what is my next course of action in that scenario. So while you're getting hit, whether with a long combo or whatever, it's time for you to scan around and see your resources. Whether you are there's like a super animation, whether it's your super or the opponent's super or something like that. You can even see that if I hit him with a level 3 over here, you still can see the resources. They don't disappear while there's a super happening in the game. So there is that. So the super, if you're getting hit with a super or you're doing super, it's time for you to scan. If you're getting hit, it's time for you to scan, you know, something of this sort. But not when you're looking for, you know, a whiff punish, not when you're looking for an anti or something that requires your full attention. That's not generally not the time to scan. And the nice thing is, when you normally scan, you know, when you scan it once, it's going to be roughly the exact same thing, because this is a fast game, right? So if I scan it and then 5 seconds, you know, later, I'm probably going to have more or less of the same resources, right? So you don't have to scan all the time. You just have to scan it once every like 10 seconds or whatever, right? And also sometimes if you get good at this, if you get good at combos and you get good at like, you know, like combos become like a second nature for you. It's just like full muscle memory. While you're doing the combos, you can scan also. While you're doing your own combos, you don't look at the combo, you don't look at your character, you don't look at the opponent's character, you look at your resources while you're doing the combo. So even, I can even demonstrate it like this, like if I'm just like doing this, I'm not even looking at the, you know, at the opponent right now, and I am doing the combo, right? I'm not even looking at the screen, I'm doing the combo. So this is just like another way, I'm not even putting the headphones on. So this is like another example of, you know, being like memorizing the combos so much so that you don't even have to look at it, so then you would perform it. So at this point, I'm not even looking at the combo, I am looking at my resources over here, I'm looking at the drive meter over there, I'm looking for my opponent's health, and that is going to decide my my combo route or my combo ender, at least, you know, mid combo. So that is the next level. But scanning is extremely important. Another step, another you know, tip on scanning is that, you know, you'll see like a lot of pro players, not only in this game but also like in like Call of Duty, in like shooters, whatever. They all prefer to play in like smaller screens. Why? Because of this exact same reason. Because they want to scan, they want to see the HUD. They want to see all of the resources that you have in the screen. So you will see like, you know, 24 inches of like screens are basically called esports screens because of this exact same reason. And, you know, generally speaking, the maximum or like the preferred maximum you know, screen size is like 27 inches because of this problem. So that's why if you're playing on a big TV, it is not recommended, because you're unable to like scan everything that is everything in the screen without having to move your head or having to like, you know, when it's outside of your peripheral vision. So this is why like playing in a 24-inch screen, or at least a 24 or at least 27-inch screen, is going to be better, because you're able to scan everything in your HUD, in your peripheral vision, as we thought. So that is number one. Number two is going to be meter management, and that's something that we already touched on in the first point. But meter management is something that's very, very important, right? So a lot of the times when, you know, as I said, like if you're going to get a kill, you have to spend your meter. You have to spend your meter. Don't leave things for the next round. Don't be stingy when you're about to kill somebody. Don't be stingy. And as we said, like it depends on what kind of meter that you have. You have drive meter. Again, the first thing that you should be spending is your drive meter, the green drive meter. This one. This is the first resource that you should be spending if you are going to get a kill, right? And the second one is definitely the super. So that's the order or priority. You should not be spending super first and then drive meter last. So for example, if I'm going to get a kill like this, if my opponent is in 30% health like this, right? Which resource am I going to spend to kill him? not the super, I'm gonna spend the drive meter, right? I'm gonna try it as much as possible to spend the drive meter, get in burnout, and make sure that that actually kills him. If going in burnout while he's in this health would not kill, I'm then going to spend the super, right? So for example, as we said, like if I have like like same exact example, if I have like two bars of drive meter like this, I'm going to have to spend the super. If this is like the last round, if this is like the final round, I can use level 3. Nobody cares. If there's another round, I'm going to try as much as possible to minimize my super usage. So what I mean is, if this is like the first round and I'm going to get a kill, but this kill can be, can be executed with a level 1 like this, for example, right? Like for example, if I have like 2 bars and I need something like this to get the kill, I will do it. I will need super. I cannot kill with my drive meter. I need super. So which super am I gonna use? I'm just gonna use 1 bar. I'm not gonna use 2. I'm not gonna use 3. Right? But if my opponent, for example, is at, for example, 40%, so I know that. First of all, let me just try to get my opponent's vitality to standard, so then he would die. So in case something like this happens and I use this, I know for a fact this is not gonna kill. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try to use my level 2. I try a little bit, still not enough. So in this case, I'm going to have to use my level 3, and that is definitely going to kill, right? So this is what I see sometimes from players, where they are going to get the kill, they have the resources to get the kill, but they don't go for it, right? Either they are being stingy, maybe they think that I can save this super meter for the next round, right? And then they end up losing this round. So if you have the ability to win this round, definitely go for it. Definitely win this round. Think about the next round later on, right? But for 1000%, you have to win this round. If you have the resources, win it. Take it. Don't think that I can get like another interaction and get the kill and I can save my meter. No, don't do that, because it can turn very ugly. You can lose the round, and that can, especially if you're like down 1 round already, definitely spend it, because if you don't get that next hit, for example, if I do this and I don't spend my super, right? And I'd be like, nah, I'm just gonna be stingy. I'm gonna save this level 3 for the next round, and I'm already down 1 round. I might actually die in this case, and I'm actually lose the entire match, right? Because I'm also in burnout, so that's a very bad position, and I did not spend my meter. So in this case, I'm definitely gonna spend my meter, try to get the kill, survive the round. Maybe the next round you'll be in better position to win the entire match. So this is definitely very good. If you're in this case over here, you might want to spend level 2 or level 1. All right, not level 3. That's the preferred thing. Even if you spend the level 3, so it's good. It's not great. If you're gonna spend level 1, get the kill, that's awesome, because next round you're going to start with 2 bars, or you're gonna start with one bar. So the possibility of you building that level 3 again in the next round is much higher. But if you spend your level 3 right now, and your opponent has level 3, the next round your opponent is gonna be in an advantage because he has level 3 and you don't. So if you get hit by anything, you're gonna lose 50% of your health, and the possibility of you making a comeback will be difficult. So that's why we're saying that meter management is so important. And if you are going to get the kill, do it, but with the least, if possible, with the least super resources, right? The first resource that if you are going to go for the kill, the first resources that you should deplete is the drive meter. And try not to, for God's sake, don't go in burnout again with the drive meter, with the meter management. Don't go in burnout if, like for example, if my opponent is, if you're in a situation like this, right, and I have 0 supers, right, or let's just keep it 1 as an example, right, and my opponent has full drive meter, I have only 2, right, and I replay this. For God's sake, don't do this. This is one of the worst situations that you could ever be in this game. You are in yellow, so you are basically in like less than 30% of health, maybe 20%. You have 0 drive meter, you're in burnout. You have 1 super or at least 0. All right, so if you do this over here, you can spend it, right? You have 0. So this is not refilling standard. This is one of the worst situations to be in, because in this case, this is a checkmate situation. If my opponent gets in front of my face, you know what's going to happen? Let me just replicate this, but on the other way. Like if I keep my opponent like this, and he is about to go in burnout, I am not, and everything is standard, right? So if this thing happens, and hold up, let's just do it this way, you know. Right? So then what's going to happen is I'm going to make him block. See this? I'm going to bully him, and even then, even if I don't do anything, I can just like stun him this way, and he's dead. This is like a checkmate situation. So why would you put yourself this way? You put yourself this way because you ended up going in burnout. You ended up spending all of your supers. So if you are going to, if you made a mistake and you went in burnout, right? You should at least keep one super meter with you, in case that the opponent tries to like do this. In case the opponent tries to go for the heavy punch, drive impact in the corner, or any drive impact in the corner that is going to stun you. So even at least sometimes if you are a good player, and if you're playing versus a good player, they will realize that, oh look, he has 1 super meter, or he has 2 or 3 or whatever. So I cannot do this. I cannot checkmate him. I cannot DI him in the corner and kill him, because he can react with a level 1 and then he might kill me, right? Sometimes if my opponent is in this case, if I am, for example, if I have a lot of health, and my opponent has like 10% of health, and he has, you know, as we said, you know, let's say that he's in burnout. We're gonna put him in the corner, and then try to DI him, or let's just try to. All right, so this is another example of meter management and the decision making that you do mid-match. So for example, if I'm in this case, I'm going to be the Ryu that is in white, and I see that my opponent has like a little bit of health. He has one super, right? And you know, and there's that possibility of him DIing or supering my DI. If I try to like checkmate him, and he does this, like for example, he does something like this, you know, he does this, right? In this case, I am going to take it. In a situation like this, I am going to take this. I don't mind it. You know, if he spends the super this way, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go for this, even though I know that he's going to super my DI, but I would still go for it. You know why? Because still he is in the corner, and still he is in burnout, and still I have my majority of my health, and I have all of my supers. He has nothing. So the next interaction is definitely going to be what is it called? A stun. Is going to be a checkmate. So if this happens, let me just show you over here. He will do this, and then I can super it. But in this case, is I can just go here and then stun him. He can't do anything about this, right? So he's dead. So this is the type of decision making that happens just because of the meter, just because of the meter management. And you will not be able to do all of this if you don't scan your resources, if you don't scan the opponent's resources, if you don't manage your own resources and the opponent's resources. So the only reason why my Ryu over here has lost this match or has lost this round is because he did not manage his resources well, did not manage his drive meter well, did not manage your super well. So in any case, in a defensive case, you want to at least have one super with you if you're going to go in burnout. And the best thing to do is not to go in burnout, because then everything will have like a 4-frame advantage. Anything that you press will have a 4-frame advantage while the opponent is in burnout. So you don't want that. So if something is -3 regularly, all right, your turn ends in burnout, it's gonna become +1 on block, so it's not gonna be your turn. So don't go in burnout. And if you are going to go in burnout, at least have 1 super meter with you, or at least have 2 super meters with you. So if a situation like this happens, and you have two super meters, better to counter the DI with one super instead of like a level 1 instead of a level 2, because then you'd have another survival chance if the opponent tries to go for the heavy punch DI or any kind of DI in the corner. You still have another chance to counter their DI with super. You get the idea, right? So the supers are very important to keep with you, just to be able to survive the DI or the checkmate situations. The third one that we're going to talk about, the third essential skill, is basically positioning. So you're going to start over here. This is the mid of the screen. I like the grid so much because, or people like the grid so much, is because it will show them the positioning very, very well. You can see that in the middle of the stage there is a big line. So this line is not there in any other way, in any other place in the stage. So this way you can memorize the distances. All the stages are the same length. You can understand the distances or the distance between the middle of the stage and the corner. So this way you'll be able to make better decisions when comboing. For example, if I'm in the corner over here, let's just say that my Ryu is in the corner. We're gonna put all the health back and whatnot and everything all back to normal, and I get a combo over here, right? I get a combo while I'm in the corner, like a combo like this, right? Which Tatsu am I going to end the combo with over here? Is it going to be the light one? Is it going to be the medium one? Is it going to be the heavy one, right? So if I do something like this and I go for the light Tatsu, you know what's going to happen is I'm going to, or even like this one. Let's just keep it like this. This one, if I go for this, I'm not out of the corner. I am actually closer to the corner than anywhere in the screen. I'm closer to the corner than the middle of the stage. I'm closer to the corner, to my corner, my back, to the other corner. So my next interaction is so important. And if I fail my next interaction, let's say that I go for a grab and he takes the grab. Let's say, for example, that he wakes up with a grab like this. You see this? I am even further closer to the corner, right? So the possibility of me getting cornered or getting throw looped in the corner or whatever is high. So in this case, or for example, like maybe he wakes up with an EXTP, and again, I'm going to be closer to the corner. Maybe he wakes up with a perfect parry and I go for a button. Again, I'm going to be in the corner. So in this case, I would not want to go for the light Tatsu. What about the medium one? If I go for the medium one, it's the exact same thing, because I am still closer to the corner. My back is still closer to the corner than mid stage, than the other corner or whatever. And on top of this, in order for me to continue my pressure, I'm going to have to use my drive here. I'm going to spend meter. So again, with the meter management. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the heavy one. The heavy one should be better. Why is the heavy one going to be better? It's because I'm actually out of the corner, and you can see that right now my opponent is the one who is closer to the corner, right? So just by understanding where I am, I'm in the corner, I want to get out of the corner, and I want to put myself in a better position than what I was before. I've decided to use the heavy Tatsu, not the medium one, not the light one, because of things like this. And on top of this, I can just like dash forward and then still continue my pressure. So if I, for example, if I just wake up like this, I can still dash forward and do a light kick. So for example, if I do this, I can dash forward and that's going to be +1. But a light kick over here is a good decision, because even if he wakes up with light punch, it's not going to reach me. So this is very good. Normally people in this case, they would not press light punch, they would press like a medium kick or a medium punch or something like that, something to reach you. So a light kick over here will counter that, and that is going to stop them from attacking. So this is a much better situation, because over here my opponent is in the corner, like he's literally just like one combo away from the corner, or at least blocking one combo away from the corner. Even if he blocks a string over here, it's gonna be in the corner, and I'm going to be able to pressure him better. So this is also one option. Another example of positioning is, for example, if I'm over here, if I'm in mid stage, let's say I'm over here and I hit my opponent, let's say that I hit him with a combo like this. Now, why would I go for the light Tatsu over here? If I'm over here, why would I go for a light Tatsu? Light Tatsu over here would not be the best option. Why? Even though Light Tatsu gives you the best Oki, it gives you meterless Oki afterwards. It gives you, the ability to stay in front of your opponent's face and you can get a strike and throw Oki. But it will not be the best option over here because I can do a medium one and immediately put my opponent in the corner like this. You see that? Now he is in the corner. He is definitely in the corner, especially if it's like a little bit closer over here. Look at that. Over here. Now I can dash up forward and then grab him. When regularly speaking, if you do it from like here, you cannot dash up and grab. But because I realized that that combo is gonna be long enough and the Tatsu is gonna be long enough to put my opponent in the corner, just right in the corner, I will be able to dash forward and grab him, right? So in that way, the medium Tatsu actually enabled me to be in a better, or put myself in a better position. So all this is possible by understanding where you're standing, understanding where you are in the stage. So if I'm over here, right? If I'm over here, I know that there is at least like 55%. I'm like at 55% distance between from the corner. So over here, I'm not gonna spend the medium Tatsu. I'm not gonna spend the medium Tatsu because I know that if I dash forward and grab, it's not gonna reach, and I'm gonna have to use my my drive meter to continue my pressure, which means that I'm going to be at like 1 drive meter. You see that? 1 bar of drive meter. So this is like a dangerously low. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the light one because I'm trying to continue my pressure without spending meter. You see that? Now I have like 2.5 bars instead of 1 bar, right? So this is what I talk about this is what I mean by positioning. Where you're standing in the stage is going to determine your combo ender. It's going to determine which combo to use. Another clear example is if I'm over here and I wanna do a combo, I'm not going to do this. I'm never going to do this. You know why? Because I'm going to get my opponent out of the corner and I'm going to miss the combo either way. So over here, for sure, this combo will fail. This is the best example of positioning, because if you don't position yourself well, this combo is going to fail 100%. So you have to like do this mid-screen. You have to do this over here, you know, or somewhere like that. You have to do this mid-screen over here, or like, you know, over there, something like that. So you have to be at a certain distance from the corner, right? So you cannot be over here. You cannot be so close to the corner because this is going to fail. So this is another example of positioning. It's very important. The next step that the next skill that we're gonna talk about is perfect pairing on wake up. This might seem like something that is like duh, like everybody does this, but I see a lot of people are unable to do this, and a lot of people, they don't go for it. It is, you know, there's a difference between knowing something and actually being able to execute it in a match consistently. So even I have played this game for the longest time without actually using this, but the moment that I started using this, it immediately added like an extra layer of defense in my gameplay. So the best way to use this is to actually put yourself in the corner. So if you put yourself in the corner like this, and you have Ryu, let's just put as Ryu, and we have him grab you first, and then the next one we're gonna drive rush and then have you punch like this, and that's gonna be the end of the recording. So we're just gonna keep this going. We're gonna let him grab us, and we're gonna wake up with drive rush. We're gonna wake up with drive parry. Right? See, I'm doing it, but I am a little bit too late. And over here, I got the combo, right? So this way, I can, you know, get the opponent back to the corner. So if I do something like this, I can get the opponent back to the corner. The nice thing about parries on wake up is it beats the meaties. So if the opponent tries to like pressure you or anything like that, it's going to beat it. And if you memorize the timing of one meaty like this, it is probably going to like, you know, it's going to like be the exact same timing for any other meat. So if you're able to execute this exercise, if you're able to get the perfect parry over here, you will be able to get the perfect parry on any other meaty, on any other meaty, any other strike meaty. So the nice thing about this is that it will cover the strike option, and you know, if you get punished, if the opponent goes for a grab or whatever, you're still gonna lose like 20% of your health. Not gonna spend like 50% or even more if in case you go for the EXTP on wake up like that. If you go for the EXTP and it just does not work, you're gonna eat like 50% of your health gone, or like 60% or even more to be gone. So, but if you go for the perfect parry and it fails, you will be grabbed, which is going to be 20% of your health only, not going to be like 60 or more. So this is like a high reward because it's going to put the opponent back to the corner, or it might even result in him dying. And it's a low risk. It is a low risk because the damage that you're going to get is not that much. The best thing that the best idea or the best tip that I can give you guys for being able to perfect parry on wake up is to delay it as much as possible. Right? A lot of people I see that they attempt this, but they get the perfect parry too early. For example, if something like this happens, they will wake up and then they will press perfect parry, and then they will get the regular parry instead of the perfect parry. And that's useless. You've just wasted the chance of your perfect parry, and you have actually like shown the opponent that you are willing to wake up parry. So now he's gonna be, oh wait, do that, so let me just try to grab him again. So this is not what you want. You want to be able to perfect parry on wake up, so you try to delay it as much as possible. The nice thing about delaying it as much as possible is, even if you fail the perfect parry, it's just gonna be a block. It's just gonna be a block. So if you block, that's still good, because if you're blocking, the opponent's turn will end maybe in the next block button or something. So it's either that you block or you get the perfect parry. Getting the blue berry is just kind of useless. Yes, you'll get a little bit of your meter, but again, it will show the opponent what you're attempting to do. So try to delay it as much as possible, and if you fail, it's gonna be a block. So what? It's just fine, you know? It's just fine. This is the best way for you to practice it. I really like it, and the more you do this, you will be able to, you know, get it right. And it's not that difficult, guys. It's not that difficult. It's not something that requires a lot of skill. It's literally one button. In this case, if you're playing on pad, I definitely recommend using L2 instead of you know, medium punch and medium kick, because medium punch and medium kick, sometimes when you press them, you will get the medium kick only, which will be a counter hit for your opponent. You don't want that. But if you do this, you will never get that. So the macro is always better to use, and it's just one button. It's just one button. Just press it, and then that's it. So try as much as possible to practice this at least every single day until you are very consistent in this, because this is one of the most powerful tools in this game. And if you are unable to do it consistently whenever you actually want to, whenever you actually predict that the opponent is gonna go for a strike mix-up, then you are eliminating, or you're missing one very important skill or one very important tool from your entire arsenal, and that's going to ruin your chances of survival the corner, or survival the insane pressure that is in this game. So the last one that I'm going to give you, the last skill that I'm going to give you, is the ability to actually EXTP from crouching. That is very important. Crouch, like, you know, we all know that DPs, they start with front. So a lot of people, they just do them in standing. They can do it on wake up, but can you actually do EXTP in a block string while you're blocking like this? That is something that is very, very important, right? So for example, if my opponent is pressuring me like this, he's over here and doing this, right? So if let's say something like this, right? I'm gonna have him block everything. Let's have him do this, right? So are you able to do something like this? Are you able to do a crouching DP? That is something that's very, very important for a lot of reasons. First thing first is the fact that block string right there is not true. It has a gap. The crouching medium kick into drive rush medium punch, that one has a gap. A lot of people don't notice. They just take that pressure. And this is an OS. You will always input the crouching DP, the crouching EXTP. And if they go for a medium punch after the drive rush, the EXTP will come out. If they go for a light punch, which is going to be a true block string, the EXTP is not going to come out. So this is like something that's very important, and it will also work while you're getting pressured in other stuff. If you're getting pressured by any block string that has gaps in it, this EXTP will work. This EXTP will work if you're able to like EXTP, let's say something like this, right? You'll get the EXTP. It's only because you are blocking and you're able to do the EXTP while you're crouching. This is something that's very, very important. And if you watch the high level players, they are able to do this, and it saves them from a lot of situations. The next thing is also being able to super crouching. So if you're able to like be in a block string, if you're in a block string and people are pressuring you and you don't have meter, the ability to actually super in this case is something that's very, very important. So if my opponent is doing this, the same thing, I want to be able to like super while I'm crouching. I want to be able to super defensively. This is something that's very, very, very important, and you will not realize it unless you are put in a situation where you have to like get out of that. You have to like defend. You have to get out of that sticky situation. Maybe you're playing versus Jury. Maybe you're playing versus somebody who's like always pressuring you, and you want to get out of it and you don't know how. You have to be able to EXTP the block strings, or EXTP while you're crouching, or super while you're crouching, or super while you're being pressured. That is something that's very, very important, an essential skill, and you will not realize the importance of it unless you start using it, and unless you start watching those pro players. They will do this a lot. They will do all of the 5 ones that I've mentioned, but I feel like this can be a game changer for you, and it's something that I definitely need to improve in. So yeah, these are my 5 essential skills. Of course, there will be a lot more, coming in the future. There are other skills that are very important. This game is very deep, but in my experience, I feel like if you implement those 5 essential skills, you will definitely see a lot of improvement in your gameplay, and you will definitely be a better player and help you reach that master level or that high MR that you're trying to reach. So if you found this helpful, please leave a like, comment down below which skill do you find most helpful, which skill do you want me to talk about the next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.